It's safe to say that up until now, GOVEE has dominated the market for permanent outdoor house lights. However, ASAHOM just launched their brand new updated Pro Kit that very well could end up being the best outdoor lights of 2024, which I'll get into later. So what you're looking at here is their 150-foot kit, but it also comes in 50 and 100-foot sizes for smaller runs. I'll get everything laid out and first go over the non-lighting components. To begin, you're going to get 4 1.8 meter extensions, but it will support up to 6 of these for helping bridge any gaps in your roofline. It also comes with a signal booster, which the instructions say you'll need if you're going to be using more than 4 of the 1.8 meter extension wires, and this would simply get plugged in before the first one of those. Next, you get 2 waterproof cut and splice connectors, allowing for even further custom installs. It has a beefy 36 volt 3.3 amp power supply, the controller, alcohol wipes to clean the surface before mounting the lights, clips with screws in case you're installing on wood surfaces, extra 3M sticky pads, a ruler to help with the setup since they recommend putting these lights about 2 to 4 inches away from the side of your home, a Bluetooth remote that takes 2 AAA batteries that are not included, and then the user manual to help guide you along the way. Now as far as the main event, this is where things get exciting. You get 9 sections in the 150-foot kit with a total of 108 lights compared to 90 lights that the GOVEE's Pro version has. Taking a closer look, you'll see a very large pixel in the middle of each unit surrounded by a clear plastic cover. This brings me to the reason why I even wanted to take a look at these in the first place, and that's because each one of these lights are able to deliver a max brightness of 90 lumens. This is almost double the output of the GOVEE's Pro Kit, which has a max of 50, and something I'm super excited to test out. You're also going to get your dedicated warm and cool whites, as this is a 5-in-1 pixel, which I'll show you close up in a minute how it works, but let's first get the remote paired. To do this, I'm going to start by plugging in one section of the strand and then popping in 2 AAA batteries. Next, hold down the A button on the controller for 5 seconds to put it in pairing mode, and then hold down the on button on the controller to complete. And having remote is definitely a nice addition because it gives you another option to control things without having to set up an app if you don't want to. So they do recommend testing out all the lights before putting them up on your house to make sure there's no defective units. And right away I can tell that these are on another level when it comes to brightness, while also having what looks to be a beautiful warm and cool white output. I'll zoom in and adjust the settings in order to better see how the pixels work. The right side of the LED has the dedicated warm white diode, the left is the dedicated cool, and the middle is where the RGB colors live. Now before installing the kit on my house, I generally like to get things connected to my phone. First, download and install the Smart Life app. Once you get through the initial setup steps, click on Add Device from the home screen. It should automatically find the lights. Enter in your Wi-Fi information and install any updates that might be available and you're all set. They completely redesigned their app and they did a great job of A, making everything very responsive, and B, easy to learn. You can change every single light individually, or you can have it group things into 4 to go a little bit quicker. Further below, you have the ability to control the type of movement and speed. They also have about 100 different preset animations that you can cycle through that take advantage of the individually addressable LEDs, as well as a sound react mode with 10 different animations. I'll go into more of the features later on, but for now, let's work on getting these installed. Now before moving on, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Aura. So this is me signing up for their free 14-day trial, and during this setup process, one of the many things they do is scan the internet for data brokers that have your personal information. These data brokers then make a fortune selling your information to spammers, scammers, and other entities that want to know more about you. Now, Aura was able to find 30 such instances of my personal information being in the hands of these companies. Then, with one click, Aura sends out a notice to have my information removed from their systems, which they are legally required to do when asked. Their all-in-one platform offers antivirus protection, credit monitoring, credit lock, financial transaction alerts, secure VPN, identity protection, parental controls, 24/7 US-based customer service, and much, much more. I'll leave a link in the description for you to start your own free 14-day trial, so please make sure to check them out. Thank you all so much, and now back to the video. So I think this will be about the 4th different set of outdoor lights I'll be installing over the past couple years, and as you can imagine, I've gotten pretty efficient at the process. And thankfully, getting these up is about as easy as it gets. I'll be removing the 3M backing and sticking the lights to the underside of my overhang about 2 or 3 inches away from the house. If things are really dusty, then you will want to use those wipes, however, mine are sticking just fine without cleaning the surface, so I'll be skipping that step. Now, as I'm putting these up on a warm 85-degree day, I have flashbacks to when I used to procrastinate and wait until winter to do this type of thing. And let me tell you, there's nothing that will suck the joy out of putting up lights faster than trying to do it with freezing cold hands. So as I'm getting close to the end of the lower level, this is a perfect spot to showcase the DIY splice kit, since I'm currently right in the middle of a strand. I'll first take the waterproof connector and begin to disassemble the left side and pop open the lever connectors on the inside. You're also going to have to pop out the green rubber stopper, and to do this, I'll just push it out with a flathead. Next, take the lights that you need to shorten and cut them off at the desired location. Then start sliding the pieces back on the wires in reverse order. I'll now separate the 3 strands and strip back each one. They appear to be using some nice thick 18 gauge wires, which is nice to see. Now all that's left to do is to insert and clamp down the 3 lines into their corresponding colored slots and then screw everything back together. You can now attach one of your extension lines followed by your next section to continue the install. Once that's done, we can now continue at the top and work our way towards the end. And as far as how long the install will take, if you didn't need to do a splice, you're probably looking at about 30 to 45 minutes for a house this size, where I ended up using only 6 of the 9 sections. However, if you do make some custom adjustments like I did with the splice segment, you're probably looking at closer to an hour. Now all that's left to do is to get things plugged in and wait for the sun to go down. To kick things off, I'll start with it being almost pitch black outside. I'll turn the lights on, and as you can see, the difference is literally night and day. These are on a whole different level when it comes to pure brightness, and something I haven't experienced in all other permanent outdoor lights I've tested over the years. Now it is one thing to look bright when it's completely dark out, but it's much more difficult to look bright when there's still daylight, and this example does a great job of showing you just how powerful this new kit is. Even in the evening, with the setting sun still present, these are still able to make a dramatic difference. Something less powerful is going to look dull and washed out in this type of lighting environment. Another feature that benefits from the added brightness is that you can turn off all the lights and then individually turn on whatever one you want in case you want to have more of a spotlight effect. You can then save anything as a favorite for quick access later. And if you are someone that's excited about the remote, you have the ability to go into settings and completely customize the buttons to your liking. And as mentioned before, they have over 100 different animations to choose from, a couple of my favorites being sled, warm, refreshing, fireworks, and baby shower, just to name a few. Now to wrap things up, if you're looking for the brightest lights currently on the market with both dedicated warm and cool white LEDs, this is it. And kudos to ASAHOM for making a major statement in this market in which many other companies not named GOVEE are simply vying for leftover table scraps. The one area though that you will be sacrificing with this compared to the GOVEE outdoor kits is the ability to sync many different products together to create a full-on light show. However, if this isn't something you care about, then there's no reason why this shouldn't be at the top of the food chain. But I am very excited to see how GOVEE responds, and if they will update their Pro model to something that matches or exceeds this in terms of brightness and density. Thank you all for watching, and as always, I hope you have a blessed day.